friends. I'm Beth Hammock, and I am here with two of my colleagues in the St. Louis area. We're going to talk about Google Ad Grants. They are grants that you can get to advertise your nonprofit on Google. And I worked with Powell Gardens in Kansas City, the botanical garden, and we got some great results there. So stock, and we have Matt Burke and Tim Hebel. They are the Beanstalk team that I work with. Tim's the owner, and Matt's a salesperson. What's your title?
Lead business development.
Lead business development. All right. Well, he's doing that, and so I want to start out so that you can know why this is a great use of your time to listen to this video, to know what this can do for your organization. So Matt, you want to share a little story about Powell Gardens? What's going on with that?
Yeah, certainly. Appreciate it, Beth. Powell Gardens came to us and you as well, wondering if and how we could spread kind of brand awareness, get more people aware of Powell Gardens, what they have to offer. And I know there were a few different initiatives as far as different events that they put on an annual basis, as well as trying to attract different demographics for, date nights, things of that nature, and also wedding and reception venue. So I know that was kind of the overall goal of the campaign, was really build brand awareness, get more people in the door, as well as membership up.
And so I know that membership increased 30% in the first quarter, and there were 88 new reviews on Google, which is super important, and we'll talk more about the results in a minute here.
Definitely.
Okay, and Tim, you have an anecdote about Goodwill, right? What's happening with Goodwill?
Yeah, so Goodwill is another good example. We've been doing their ad grants account for probably 3 years at this point. And they get a lot of action, especially on the car donation side of things, which is great. That's a huge donation for them compared to just your everyday Goodwill drop off. And essentially the Google grants in general, it's all free from Google. So Goodwill pays nothing other than a small management fee to run this campaign, and it's been very successful. They plan on running it indefinitely into the future.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So can you explain how Google ad grants, or really Google ads, how they work, and just a brief primer for people who don't understand or even what we're talking about? What are Google ads?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, so Google ads are the search results that appear at the very top of the search engine results. So usually it's 3 or 4 on top. There's a few on bottom. They used to be on the side of Google results, and about a year ago they got rid of those. But essentially how it works is it's a pay-per-click model. So if you're doing the for-profit version of Google Ads, you only pay when someone actually clicks the ad. All of that is based on a free market bidding system. So if your competitors are bidding for the same keywords and they're increasing their bids, the price per click goes up. If it's an industry that's not as competitive, then you'll have lower click prices. So we tend to see click prices anywhere between $2 and all the way up to $50 or more. The click price has been going up over the last few years. As more people enter the market, it keeps driving the cost up. But Google Ads is great. It's very effective inbound marketing. People are searching for a specific keyword that you want to show your result for. And it's also a great way to supplement or use instead of search engine optimization. A great example is if you're a new attorney in St. Louis, there's hundreds of attorneys that have websites that have had websites for 15 plus years. You really have no shot at ranking above them organically anytime in the next, let's say, 5 years. So Google AdWords is a great alternative where you can appear at the top of search results, but you don't have to put in thousands and thousands of dollars over years and years and years to maybe beat them in SEO. So Google Ads is a great kind of instant gratification way of getting your name out there, getting leads right away.
Well, with attorneys, say there's more than 3 attorneys using Google AdWords.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
Yeah, so one option if you wanted, because there probably are.
Yeah.
So the ones that's showing on top are the people that have the highest bid. It's also kind of based on budget. So if, let's say, one person's bidding a lot, but they have a low budget, maybe their ad stops showing at like 9 a.m. after it gets a couple clicks in the morning. So really, if it's a very competitive industry, if you want to keep showing up first, you have to keep raising your bid. Another option is you could target more obscure keywords. So instead of targeting, let's say, St. Louis attorney, maybe you could do, Webster Groves traffic attorney, and that's not going to have as many people bidding on it.
And so with a nonprofit, what would be some terms that you would use to, for your search terms on nonprofits that would be competitive?
Yeah, so it depends on the industry, but essentially how the nonprofit Google Ad Grant works is it limits the bid to $2. So what a lot of nonprofits do is if there's, very competitive terms that for-profits are competing in, you may not ever rank for those keywords with the $2 bid. So oftentimes, with a nonprofit account, if it is in a more restricted industry, you'll look at more obscure keywords, doing a lot of broad keywords. You also have to be careful with your strategy though, because if you're trying to show your ad for keywords that aren't super relevant just to get name recognition, your ad quality score drops and Google will potentially stop showing those ads.
All right. Wouldn't want that.
Yeah, it's never good. Yeah.
Which is why professionals are good to have, which maybe this is where we can talk more about Powell Gardens, that I was in the initial conversation where we were talking about people that might be targeted, and because Powell Gardens is an attraction, like entertainment or things to do on the weekend, things like that. So what ended up working, or do you have any examples from that?
Yeah, I know kind of the first step for us in that process, building out that campaign, was doing keyword research, seeing really what people are searching for, give us a better idea of where to put that budget. And through that, I know, we had talked previously about, getting membership up, as well as, date nights, things of that nature, and then also the wedding and reception event space. So those were kind of the three target audiences, if you will, of the campaign. And those demographics broke down differently. But really, I think we ended up targeting within about a 50-mile radius, if I remember correctly, of the actual garden. And as you said before, membership was up 30% in the first quarter. In addition to that, I know that the events and wedding, that's one of the leading on the campaign. That's one of the leading sub-campaigns, if you will, within there. And that's a big revenue driver for the gardens themselves. So, yeah, the biggest thing in setting up the campaign is understanding, what the objective of the campaign is, and then determining what keywords make the most sense, right? So I know we did things like things to do near Kansas City were some of the keywords we targeted, wedding venues, and then different nonprofit like membership or opportunities to volunteer was another one. So.
Good deal. So, as far as whenever you first started working with Powell Gardens, they were doing it in-house. And when you're out talking with people, do you find that's the case? And why would someone choose to hire it out versus, or if somebody does want to do it on their own, how would they learn how to do it? Can you talk a little bit about the skill level of ad managers?
Definitely. We've run into companies both on the for-profit and nonprofit side that will either have campaigns that they're actively doing in-house or have tried running campaigns in-house previously. I think the biggest thing that an organization like Beanstalk or other agencies bring to the table is that expertise. We have individuals at our office that are working on Google Ads on a daily basis, right? Staying up to date as far as the algorithm, different techniques and strategies for lowering your bid, but also getting your position ranking higher, closer to number one. So there is, and Tim touched on this a little bit earlier, there's more to the process than simply here's the keyword that we want to target and here's our money. There's a lot that goes into that algorithm, such as your ranking authority, how relevant these keywords are to what your actual cause is, what the landing page is. So there's a lot of elements that go into setting up not only a campaign, but a successful campaign. And so there are definitely advantages to having individuals that are the experts, if you will, within the field. And so, some of those definitely, when talking about the nonprofit, I think it's safe to say, unless you have somebody that knows what they're doing and has Google certification, which we our team does have. I think an organization like Beanstalk can help make your campaign that much more successful, and frankly, make a much higher return on the investment, if you will, for the small management fee associated.
And you have a very reasonable management fee for nonprofits is part of you guys have a service, maybe let's let Tim talk about this, that you offer several things for nonprofits because you care about the community, right?
Yeah, we do, definitely. So part of our mission at Beanstalk is giving back to our community and the nonprofits. So over the years, we've built a few different programs to help accomplish that mission. So the first is the simplest. We do 15% discounts off our normal service rates for any nonprofit. And that is for any nonprofit worldwide, not just St. Louis. The other two programs are specific to the St. Louis area, the greater St. Louis area. And the first one we've been running for a few years now. We actually donate web hosting to nonprofits in the greater St. Louis area that support a good cause. And they get, web hosting, all the access to our servers, all that stuff for free. So it doesn't include, like maintenance and us going in there and making changes to their site, but it at least covers the hosting, which is helpful, especially for the small ones. And then the new program that we're doing this year for the first time is our nonprofit free website contest. So that ends in, I believe the entries are due by August 31st. Any nonprofit in the greater St. Louis area is eligible. And essentially the nomination, you just go to beanstalkwebsolutions.com/contest. The nomination form takes 30 seconds at most. And when the entry deadline passes, we're going to post on our Facebook page, a post for each nonprofit. And whichever one gets the most shares after, I don't know the time frame, a couple weeks, a month, then they'll get a new website up to an $8,000 value.
Wow. That's very generous.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's a great promotion for, I like the idea that that's going to be on your website and or the Facebook too. That's a pretty cool idea too.
Yeah, it helps
So,
raise a little awareness for us as well.
And that people, that's a generous offer though, the web hosting too, so that's good. Let's talk about how to, so you guys could manage the grants, or they could try to do it themselves, or who knows, maybe they hire somebody who actually used to work at an agency or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't know, right?
Yep.
But, I bring things to the table that most people wouldn't do, like I know how to produce videos, right? But, so, as far as getting the actual grant, how does a nonprofit do that?
Yeah, so it's a pretty easy process. You go to Google's page for Google Grants. I don't know the exact URL, just,
Google it.
Yeah, exactly. And the nomination form, it's pretty easy. The main thing people need that sometimes they're missing is their nonprofit's federal ID number. So as long as you have that, it's a pretty simple nomination form. Most people get accepted within a week. And I believe we've had over 10 clients do it at this point, and no one's not gotten accepted. So they pretty much accept any nonprofit that, I'm sure similarly to us, support a good cause.
Sure. Yeah, and there's some testimonials on that page too that you can read through. I noticed that if you want more examples of people all over the world using them, so it's
Yeah.
pretty inspiring. I read one from an elder care organization that they're talking about. They wouldn't have their organization if not for Google Grants, because actually that organization you meet up with, it's an online sourcing of the assets of the organization, essentially. Like, basically, it's an older person and a young person get together online and support each other.
Oh, very cool.
So, sort
Yeah.
of like a Facebook or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's interesting.
But it's a nonprofit, and it seems like it's helping people.
Yeah, very cool.
So, yeah, have relationships. Yeah.
And there are a couple small limitations, but it's actually very generous of Google. So like I said earlier, there's the $2 click limit, bid limit on clicks, but they also give you, and in some cases you can get more, but they give you $10,000 a month. What they're doing there is the goal isn't to spend, $9,999 a month. It's to give you enough that you can cover everything you need. So if, don't go into the Google Grants program expecting to, get $10,000 worth of clicks. A lot of clients, if they're targeting just a metro area, we usually see they get maybe $3,000 or $4,000, but it really depends on the services as well.
Yeah, and I guess you could have several, like Powell Gardens, you could have several different ads, like weddings and membership and whatever, lots
Yeah.
of different, if you had all the time in the world to make all the ads and everything, right?
Yeah.
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 Like most things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the more services you have, the easier it is to, get closer to that max budget.
Right. So, well, that is cool. I am just really excited that you guys are here talking with me about this because it works.
Yeah.
And I know that nonprofits do amazing things and they just have trouble getting the word out a lot of times. But this makes it so much easier, and that's the way to go. Really,
Yeah.
It
because-
certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine running an ad like in a magazine versus doing Google ads.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just like night and day.
Yeah, and there's probably not many magazines out there that donate the ad spots to nonprofits.
They do not.
Yeah.
No, what they do has been my experience, like when I worked in higher ed, they have, we're going to do our higher ed issue. Do you want an ad for $3,000? Well, no, not really. But, but if we're not in here, we're going to look pretty bad too. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a blackmail almost.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
You don't
feel
do that kind
pressure.
of marketing. Yeah, I don't do that kind of marketing.
That's why we're digital only. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say about Google Ads? It's called Google Ads now, not Google AdWords, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's going to
So-
take a while to
Yeah.
get used to.
Yeah, we've probably said AdWords a million times, so.
I think maybe I just said it once in this conversation. I don't think you guys said AdWords. Just in general, you mean? It's because you
Yeah.
can have video. They decided that it's not just Google words anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do YouTube ads. Google's owned YouTube for, I don't know how long, over 10 years. So there's a wide range of products. You can also do the Google Display Network, which is banner ads on sites that participate in Google AdSense.
I didn't realize about YouTube and Google, because I don't like on Facebook how you can't use YouTube. I mean, like, they don't want YouTube on there, really. It just kind of makes it difficult. But-
Yep. Big competing companies, they don't
Yeah.
necessarily like you sharing products between them.
No.
Yeah.
But now you know, which actually a lot of people don't know that either. Just a tip that if you're wanting to get your video out there and you're using Facebook, don't have it hosted on YouTube because it won't get much exposure on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to download it and then
Yep, upload it,
yeah,
drop it.
yeah,
directly.
which is basically takes extra time, but that's the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want it all on platform, native platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
All right, you got anything else?
Google Ads. I don't know. I mean, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to, Beth, Tim, or I. Love to have a conversation and see if we can help you. So,
Very good. Okay, thanks a lot for sharing some time with us, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having us, Beth.
You're welcome.